this is Ria from the Giggle Queens, and you're watching Mad. This is probably the biggest moment in my career so far, especially as an artist. I had done dance my whole life. I did like jazz, tap, ballet. I did Bharatanatyam, Bollywood, hip hop, like all the things. And I was doing it, as a hobby, as a lot of people do. And I don't think I realized how much it was a part of my life. A lot of the people I know, a lot of my friends, I met through dance, and I didn't realize how much I needed it. My plan was to become a teacher, like a classroom teacher, and I graduated my master's, and I was looking for work, and I was teaching dance in school, but also supply teaching. And I have my best friend, Jenna Lee, who is teaching dance full time. And I just remember feeling so envious of her every time she was doing workshops or teaching or performing, and she just got to be creative and got to live her life as a dancer. And I remember feeling really sad. And I had a year of, I think a lot of people go through that after school, you're like, what is my life? What am I doing? So I went through kind of a hard year of figuring out what I wanted to do. And once I finally decided, I think what I actually need to do is just make that jump and pursue dance as a career. Then it all came together. I was so happy, but it was hard because I was really worried. I think a lot of South Asian artists feel like that too. I'm worried about what my parents are going to think. So that was probably the hardest part for me. I remember telling my parents, and they were kind of stunned, only because they were like, we don't know anything about this world, right? My dad was like, I know about engineers and doctors, so I don't really know how to help you in this world. And they just wanted to make sure that I was happy, but I could support myself, So once I kind of made a plan for them and, showed them how I can make money and support myself as an artist and as a dancer in Toronto, then we were all good. On one side, myself, I've done a lot of workshops in Brampton. It's amazing. It's probably my favorite thing to do is to go into schools and work with students, who look like me. And I get to represent an artist who is South Asian as well, and who can bring music that they know. I think that's really exciting for them, that they get to come up to me and be like, I know that song that we were dancing to. My dad plays it all the time at home. And you know what I mean? And I can feel their excitement because they probably don't get to see that a lot of the time, So that has been really rewarding for me because I didn't have that growing up. And then Jenna Lee and I have started our own business, actually. Aside from Giggle Queens, we've started a school program called Dance and Culture. And because of my work that I've done in Brampton and just kind of in the GTA with Indian dance, we decided that we wanted to create a program that represents a bunch of different cultural dances in schools. So we have a roster of people doing Chinese dance, Afro, Bollywood, and we have a bunch of different instructors who will go into schools and bring those cultural dances into the school and into the curriculum because we think it's so needed and representation matters.
It's that bindis and the bangles. We light it up like a candle. Don't ask Kumari where your mango. We don't need no guns, wear my sandals. It's that bindis and the bangles. We talking Hindi, what's your angle? Don't ask Kumari where your mango. We don't need no guns, wear my sandals. 'Cause you don't really know where you came from. You don't really know where you came from. Daughter of the king, you can tell by my actions. I really make it happen, no acting. Fly like Aladdin, genie on my back. Got love for the South Asians, got love for my accent. In young girl, got love from the streets of the mansions. And it's that bindis and them bangles. We light it up like a candle. Don't ask Kumari where your mango. We don't need no guns, wear my sandals.
My name is Ria, Jenna Lee. We are a choreography and performance duo. We've kind of created this little niche for ourselves to be happy in the dance world. So whenever we choreograph, we try to add a little bit of comedy to whatever we're doing. We also have this other side of our brand where we've kind of like fused our two dance backgrounds. We do a little bit of fusion with Eastern and Western styles, like Bollywood and hip hop and Bharatanatyam and whacking.
Trying to figure out rehearsals safely We definitely didn't want to involve any other dancers. And at first we were creating distantly, and then we bubbled. So that was definitely a huge challenge. You know, usually we're right up in each other's space, and the ideas are flowing. There's something about dancers and being physically, you know, it's so physical. You need that energy, and it was navigating it over Zoom for much of our creation process was hard.
Keeping in mind that you're not going to be performing to a live audience, you know, and that's where we get a lot of our energy when we're performing. But yeah, the BMM setup was so great that it kind of subbed in for the audience with the music and the lights and everything. It still created that atmosphere of performing, so it was still easy to give that energy that we usually do.
The coolest part for me personally was that my family around the world could watch me dance, and it's been a long time for, you know, my grandmother out on the East Coast in rural Nova Scotia, or I had family overseas, so that was really cool.
We've been doing this for 4 or 5 years now, and each year, we were saying before, each year it gets better and better. They really up their game. They clearly, you know, it's one thing to take feedback and put out surveys, and it's another to actually act on what people say. And it's clear that they're listening. There's just so much communication going on. You know, you really feel valued as an artist, and you feel like you're important part of the show. Like you're a star when you come to BMM, which is a nice feeling to have, especially as a dance artist, because that rarely happens.
I think we both felt very vulnerable as we sort of embarked on this new and different dance journey, and this festival has helped us find an outlet and feel like it is worth creating and worth doing.
I know it is hard to comprehend why, whoa,